The Uncomplication channel is for education and entertainment purposes only. In no way is this financial advice, nor am I a financial advisor. Please trade at your own risk. Enjoy. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Uncomplication. I have been going through the comments from the last video. It was the first video I posted in about a month. So going through the comments, I do read a lot of these. I try to respond to the ones that are coming up on my phone throughout the day. So I just wanted to bring up a couple because I saw some themes and just some little threads that I wanted to pull on because I think it might be interesting conversation. So Beef Quiche posted, and I guess he doesn't know I'm vegetarian, so maybe broccoli quiche. Dude, you correctly warned people when Wyckoff was pretending a price crash, but you disappeared when Wyckoff accumulation was taking place, and we hit a very obvious spring in July. Fortunately, your videos helped me later identify a very obvious accumulation window, but I feel a lot of your viewers missed out on a trade as you never covered it. Of course, you weren't obligated to produce any Wyckoff accumulation videos and updates, but I got to ask, for such a positive sounding chap, why the skew to the negative? Why did you detail the imminent price crash while giving so little mention to accumulation and the imminent price appreciation? So a couple things here. First of all, I just want to explain to sort of the newcomers here that I'm not a crypto YouTuber. I kind of have reluctantly become that lately. And a lot of that is just based on, the comments and the appreciation that I've been hearing about having a different type of voice in this space. But I'm really just a normal person that was very active in this market this year, moved a lot of money into it, and really believed the narrative of Bitcoin being decentralized, not manipulated. This was the people's currency. This was the lifeboat against fiat. All of these ideas that some of them I still hold true, but I now can look back and recognize how that was part of this market cycle that really drove the Wyckoff distribution pattern. And when I created that video, it was because I had been following a whole bunch of YouTubers, people that I was watching day to day, couldn't wait for their next post, was just, huffing content 24/7. And when I learned about the Wyckoff distribution and really understood how this market was being manipulated, and that the same tricks that the large operators, institutions have used since the 1920s were still at play with just a different audience to fleece, it was really kind of a crisis moment for me. I felt like Bitcoin was this untouchable thing, and to have that whole paradigm suddenly shattered was really affecting to me. It was one of these things that I really believe strongly in, and it was really kind of a crushing blow to learn that this was just a market like any other, and then to start seeing it from that perspective, not of this just being this incredibly valuable thing that everyone was just going to pile into, like people fleeing a sinking ship. That was the narrative. That all the institutions, all the companies, Tesla and all that were just going to start piling in. I remember when I was really, buying a lot of Bitcoin, my thought process was, oh my gosh, this price is never going to be lower again. And so the reason why I made that Wyckoff video was because when I discovered it, I was reaching out to these other YouTubers that I followed. I was trying to share with them the links to the same articles that I was reading, sending them screenshots of my charts, writing long form explanations in emails and sending it to these people who had an audience, because I was a member of that audience. And nobody wanted to hear it. Never heard back from a single one of them. It didn't fit the narrative. It wasn't the worldview that everyone had. So I gave up eventually. I created that video just so I had something that I could send my friends and family, so I didn't have to explain it and just send these articles that are pretty lengthy. And so I posted that on my Uncomplication channel. Uncomplication is a podcast and a website that I have been doing since like 2014, 2015, but it's not a crypto channel anyway. So so I just wanted to kind of say off the bat that I haven't been covering these things day to day because I'm not a crypto YouTuber. I was making videos after the price crash and through this period of time that did talk about accumulations and what they look like. But really, my message here has been that if you look across the space, if you watch these channels, these other channels day to day, you will see no one really knows what's going to happen. Even the best TA people, even the people who have been in the space the longest, they all missed the distribution when it was clear in front of our faces. We're all in this accumulation potentially, but it could just as easily go down as it goes up. And I found this really humorous. Someone posted this in our Crypto Garden Discord. Not to pick on this YouTuber specifically, but someone posted this as just an example of like how crazy this space is, where day to day, each of these videos were posted a day apart, and you can see the wildly varying, all-time high, WTF, HODL, BTFD, 250K, OMG, 75K, 300K, 250K, 100K. I see in there 400K, 1 million. It's like watching the weather, and they're changing the prediction every 10 minutes by 100%, 1,000%. It's just a space where if there's negativity that's coming from me, it's because I feel that we as a crypto community need to get wise to how our own actions drive these Wyckoff cycles. And I was at, like I said in the last video, I was at this event, this FOMO NOMO event, and I kind of was trying to explain to this audience about how this fear of missing out, this overly optimistic, people call it, the moon boy syndrome, but just this overly optimistic prediction on one day is backed up by this complementary, this is a coin or a term that I think I'm coining here, but fear of holding on as FOHO. That's the other side of it. Because on one day when things are going up, it's, how to become a millionaire with, X number dollars of Ethereum. And on the next day, you go to YouTube and it looks like this, warning, dangerous, Bitcoin warning, this is awful news. Just, it gives you that fear of holding on. And so, if I have negativity, it's not that I'm negative on crypto. I actually think that this space is one of the coolest places to be anywhere. I just spent 10 years running a technology company that I started in 2011 with my co-founders that was all around empowering communities to use their resources more effectively. But my point is, I've spent a lot of time in this space in digital tools and technologies, and the crypto space is just budding with potential in disruptive, powerful technologies. But it is coupled with this really disgusting marketplace where people get off the boat on Crypto Island and it's like a casino with all of these people shouting at them about how much money they're going to make, and then turning around and scaring the pants off of them so they just throw it all away, throw it all back. And that's exactly what drives the Wyckoff cycles. It is what makes someone buy something expensive and then sell it at a loss. This fear of missing out and fear of holding on. So, in this channel, I'm not here to give price predictions. I'm not here to give trade signals. I'm really here because I want to see this space mature to the point where these really powerful technologies and these really cool opportunities to engage with meaningful products, meaningful teams that are doing cool things in the world, where that can be decoupled a bit from people thinking this is just a place to throw money at these 3- and 4-letter acronyms and expect a 40x, 100x, 1000x return. So the other part of this that I just want to mention is in this same time period, I personally have been going through a lot. Crypto was an obsession for me at the beginning of this year. I was spending just ungodly hours staring at charts, learning new skills, trading on Discords, and just very, very tightly bound up in this space. And I thought to myself that this was a way for me to get to be free of having to immediately go back and start another company or start another job, and that this was a way that I could feed my family while doing something I really enjoyed and was passionate about. And that ended up having some really negative effects in my life. It made me turn my attention away from my wife and my kids, and the depression that I had from leaving the company that I was at for 10 years, and focused so heavily on this space. And I wasn't alone. I was surrounded by people that were just so focused on this as a pastime. And so that's the other part of the answer to this question is, why did you kind of disappear during this whole accumulation zone? Well, again, like, we don't know where the price is going to go until it goes there. And then we can go back, we can look at the chart, and we can say, oh yes, this was a textbook accumulation, it was a textbook distribution, but until it happens, it could go either way. That's the whole point of these patterns, is that they're constantly kind of faking people out. They're testing where the buyers and the sellers are. They're shaking people out at different places, and it's an intentional kind of whipsaw that as soon as you think that you're smarter than it, and as soon as you kind of buy into the FOMO, or you buy into that narrative that things are going back up, is exactly when it starts turning around. I talk about the fear and greed index a lot, and that really sums it up. When people are greedy and they're piling in, that's the time when the smart money is selling. And when things are fearful and it's, blood is in the streets, that's when the smart money is buying. So with that information, you can go out, you can make your own choices, you can learn Wyckoff, you can learn Elliott wave theory, you can learn TA, you can find just the projects that you like. Everyone is free to kind of participate in this market how they choose. But I just wanted to kind of tell that story, to kind of explain some of this, and just to let you know, I don't really see myself as having viewers that are relying on me to make predictions for their financial decisions. If that's why you're here, you're in the wrong place. I am here really to talk to a huge audience of people that have all come together around this idea of liberation through these tools, these technologies, and these tokens and coins, and to just bring just bring myself to it. People appear to appreciate the things that I say and the way that I think about things. So that's just what I'm continuing to do. And I hope that that's valuable. Again, I think that understanding the psychology of the market can help. And I know it's done this for me. It has taken me out of that place where I am looking at the price minute to minute, hour to hour, in fear about where the market's going to go. I am not in a position where I'm over leveraged or I am overly invested in any one thing. And my planning and kind of my approach now is more long term. It's more how I said I was going to get into this market in the first place. So long answer to a short question. But I want to get to this next one. So someone said, so what's the bottom line advice? Invest in what you can afford to forget about and wait a few months to recognize the next peak and crash. And in the short term, don't bother timing the market. Just double down and look ahead. There is no bottom line advice. I think I kind of just said that. What I've said on this channel a number of times is, if you want to be a trader, you can be a trader. But traders are not sitting on Coinbase, listening to YouTubers and saying, oh, we're taking back off, I'm going to buy a ton of Bitcoin. That's not trading. That is kind of following the Wyckoff cycle to a T. So if you want to be a trader, go online. There's tons and tons of people that are happily sharing their information about how to look at charts, how to time entries and exits, how to use the tools to set your stop losses and do all of these things. But when you find those people that are real traders and are actually giving that education, you'll realize it's a full-time job. You are, and I know because I've been in this space enough to just recognize, like, you're constantly tied to a device. You're constantly watching the price fluctuations because it has a tangible impact on you. And if you're doing things smartly and you're actually mitigating your risk, you're only putting 1% of your stack in any given trade. And you're, typically, you might be on a long trade that goes for a couple days, but typically, you're making these trades within a few days or sometimes, hours. And so the actual percentage gains are not 100x unless you're just, catching these, inflated bubbles of altcoins or whatever else. But I just, that's kind of my message is, if you're getting into this market and you think it's easy to just sit at your computer for a few minutes a day and make, life-changing amounts of money, it's not really the case. At least I have not found that. There are plenty of examples of people who have bought things and have been really fortunate. They bought them at the right time. They bought something really early stage. And then, a big market cycle happened and they were able to sell and make a lot of money. And that's great. If you're doing the research, you're doing, I posted a video about fundamental analysis, finding these projects that are early stage that can, have some real growth potential. That's investing. That's not really trading. So I'm not really saying, invest in what you can afford to forget about. That was for me in order to focus on the things in my life that I needed to focus on. I knew I just needed to get all of the money that I had pulled out of every corner of my life and put into this market. I needed to just shore that up so I didn't have to worry so much. And then I could kind of wait for the market to do what it was going to do and, kind of decide how I wanted to re-engage it. So there you have it. I guess that's my way of saying, what I am doing is not what's right for everybody, and I am surrounded by people in the crypto garden that just love to trade. They're trading all day. They're happy with it. Maybe they're single and they can spend that kind of time just, focused on charts till their eyes bleed. But even they're kind of, signaling the fatigue at it. So, okay, so that's that. The other thing that I wanted to share is... So the crypto garden, I want to just kind of tell this story a little bit so that it makes sense. I was super into crypto, like mainlining crypto, huffing crypto fumes day after day after day. I ended up having coffee with an old friend from Ecuador, and we both were really crazy about crypto, and we were doing all these cool things. He was building a community and had kind of had some really, really smart traders that were part of this group, and they were all kind of collectively talking and, giving advice. And so I joined that community, and then we really decided that, hey, we want to take this and make it a little bit bigger, a little bit more accessible for more people. We really saw it as a way to bring the novice traders into the market in a space that was, safe, with experts that they could talk to, and not the YouTube space, not the Twitter space, not all these other places where it is like that carnival casino. And so I started that right before my Wyckoff video got found and got, popular, and my Uncomplication channel went from, it was probably like maybe 50 followers, 100 followers to, I kid you not, it was like 100,000 subscribers after a week, and now I'm at like 170,000 subscribers. So it was very unexpected, and that was in parallel with me and Pete trying to start the crypto garden. So all of this kind of came at a point, like I'm saying, that was pretty shaky for me, and I just had to pause a lot of it. Pete was awesome. We continued to work on building the crypto garden, and some other people showed up that kind of joined the garden and then really became leaders in that space. And so there's always been this goal and this intention of taking the opportunity that has arisen from this Uncomplication audience and to build a community that is really grounded in these principles that are important. And we have been working through that challenge. We've been looking at how we can do this, how we can afford to do this, how we can make this something that will allow myself and the others that are directly contributing to it to make it a primary focus. And so that, as hard as I tried to fight it, ends up being a subscription model, a membership. And so someone made a comment here, and this is totally fair. This is one of the things that I've been deeply grappling with. And if you talk to Pete and the others, like, I've probably been driving them crazy because I don't want this to be undermining the ethos of Uncomplication. I never put ads in my videos. I am not shouting at you to subscribe. I'm just here kind of giving you my, from the heart, from the gut, thoughts. But with the crypto garden, there's more people there. They're really amazing. They're smart. I'm learning from them every day. It's a great place to converse around these topics that if it was just me, I would miss so much of it. So I'm really having my overall view of the landscape colored by these conversations and these other personalities in the crypto garden. And so we're opening up the Crypto Garden to the public. We're charging a membership. That's so that I can make this my job for the time being. And I'm just bringing this up because, there were comments that called out. I'm saying, this channel is not about making money. I don't want to be like the other YouTubers that are, kind of filling their own bags just by the audience and the platform. But the Crypto Garden, I think, is something that we are working very hard on to make it valuable. We really want to solve that equation of how do we take all of these great minds and make that content accessible, make it easy to get to, make it a conversation. And so that's kind of where the Crypto Garden comes into this. It's something that I was doing even before the Uncomplication channel. And so I hope that that's something that you're interested in. I'm a reluctant crypto YouTuber, and that's why I'm excited to bring the people that have resonated with me into this space with the other people that I resonate with, so that it kind of shares the load, shares the education. People who are really interested in daily technical analysis. We have people in the Crypto Garden that are doing that every day and just sharing all that information. So I just wanted to explain that, because if you're thinking, oh, this is just another guy that's trying to make a quick buck off of his YouTube fame, yes, but I think we have, or yes, and I think we're really trying to do something unique here. And if you can't tell, I am like, I don't know, foamingly passionate about doing the right things in the world for the right reasons. And that's part of me. That's what my last company was all about. That's just, I feel like this world is what we make of it, and it is our choice to band together and to demand that we elevate each other, that we bring this space into a civilized, mature kind of place where real people, real families, real humans are putting their value, putting their capital, and hoping to see that grow for their children and their children's children. That was the narrative that got me in. So, I also recognize that in this game of YouTubing and just putting myself out here, there's going to be lovers and haters. And there are far more lovers than there have been haters. And, I'm just going to continue to do my thing. And I really appreciate all the people that have kind of come out of the space, kind of gathered here and are appreciative of the time and the content. I will say that my objective here over the long term is that if you're truly passionate about crypto, this is what you love, this is what you live and breathe, and you want to get better at it, you want to be successful, that's where I think the Crypto Garden and the experts there and this whole community can really kind of take you in and provide that. I don't know that I am going to be continuing Uncomplication as a solely crypto channel. It's just not, that's not the main vein that I've been operating on. So I think a lot of my time in the crypto space is going to be moving into this community of the Crypto Garden, and I'm going to start posting some stuff on Uncomplication that a lot of you might not resonate with, and that's totally fine. If this whole opportunity brought me, of the 170,000 that are currently subscribed, if only 1,000 of you stick around because you actually like the things that I'm going to be posting in the next months and weeks ahead, then that's amazing. So I think I kind of had this love me or leave me up here on the screen. I am going to in future videos just kind of explain a little bit more about who I am, what my past 10 years and longer has looked like, and I feel like I owe that to you. I feel like if you're gonna come here and listen to me, it's worth sharing a little bit of that backstory so you actually understand who I am, and you can make your own decisions on whether or not you want to put your trust in the things that I say and for what reason. So I will talk about this, who is this guy topic in the next video. But yeah, that's just a couple things that I wanted to call out. I really appreciate all of you, being here, and I'm going to continue to make these up until the point that it doesn't make sense anymore. So until next time, thank you all, and cheers.